Okay, I'm just watching the count here. We have people joining the room. This is great. Okay, welcome everybody. We're gonna have, okay, here they come. This is fantastic. So welcome to Techstars Toronto Demo Day. So my name is Sunil Sharma. I'm the Managing Director of Techstars Toronto. It's my great privilege to bring to you our 6th Demo Day of Techstars Toronto. We have an incredible class, and for the first time, we're doing this on stonks. So how do I describe stonks? Stonks is, well, they describe it as though if AngelList and Twitch and Shark Tank came together and had a baby. This has become one of the coolest ways for investors to invest in companies. It's highly interactive, it's a lot of fun, and it's showing great results. So we're excited to be on it. I'm going to tell you quickly a little bit about Techstars. Techstars is the worldwide network that helps entrepreneurs succeed. We believe that our network plus capital and connections really provides an opportunity for companies to boost into greater heights. Our results kind of speak for themselves. We have more than 50 accelerators that are running. We've graduated more than 7,000 founders. We work with hundreds of corporate partners. Our companies raise money with or without stonks. They've raised on average of $1 million immediately after the program. That's globally. We've created unicorns. We couldn't operate without mentors. We have more than 6,000 mentors given around the world, and we employ hundreds of mentors in any given program. IPOs, there's been some well-known IPOs that have come out of Techstars, and we're excited to see more of them. A little bit about our batch here in Toronto. So Techstars Toronto has taken a real global approach to investing. We've made 64 investments so far, and we have global coverage. So roughly half the class have been from Canada and half have been sourced from abroad. Just a slight lag on these slides. This will show you our portfolio to date. You'll see countries of origin, 31 companies from across Canada, the rest are from different parts of the world. And right now, I'm going to move us into the current class of 12 companies, which is really what we're here to talk about now. These are exceptional companies. They come from many different cities and countries. They have a lot of different industry verticals that they're tackling, very diverse industries. And speaking of diversity, this is perhaps the most diverse group of founders ever assembled at any accelerator, 100% diversity of these entrepreneurs. We're excited to tell you that. These are their beautiful faces. And speaking of beautiful faces, I'm going to ask my colleagues, Gabby and Alicia, to come on stage. I'm going to hand it over to them in just a moment. There's Alicia, there's Gabby. How are you?
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Everyone.
Nice to see you.
Yes, thank you all for coming.
Yeah, let me just, I'm gonna jump off stage in just a second, Gabby. I think so much of the credit for this program goes to you. You are here from the US Midwest. It's been just a pleasure to have you. We even bring our core team from other parts of the world when necessary. We only want the best. That's our motto here at Techstars Toronto. So Gabby, over to you, and thank you so much for all you've done for us.
Oh, thank you, Sunil. Thank you guys all so much for coming. As Sunil mentioned, I'm the program manager for Techstars Toronto. It has been an absolute joy to work with these 12 amazing founders, and I'm so excited for you guys to see their pitches today. And we'll do a little bit of back and forth with live Q&As and their pitches, so feel free to put things in the chat. I did want to quickly mention, below you should see a company called Goober. This is completely fake. We just wanted to use this so that you guys can test out stonks. So the get intro button, click it, see how that all works. This is how you're going to be able to get a hold of our founders. So once we go into the first pitch, which will be Blossom, you can click on that to get a hold of Jennifer. And I will now turn it over to my amazing colleague, Alicia Golden.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today as we introduce and officially unveil the 12 companies that we've spent the last 12 to 13 weeks with, day in and day out, really working with them post-investment to really help them grow and scale during the time we have with them. I am so excited for you all to meet them and to see what they've been working on. I've spent countless hours just working with them to take it to the next level in every aspect of their business, and to be able to stand in front of you today and raise for the next round of their trajectory in the business, and to really take all the work that they've been doing before Techstars and then during Techstars to the next level. With that being said, let's jump into our first pitch. First up, we have Jennifer Krautbas of Blossom, a really interesting company at the intersection of wellness and web. Let's dive right in.
Mental health issues are on the rise globally. I've dedicated my career to helping thousands of people in schools and hospitals and offices feel better. While working with wellness creators, I saw problems then that are being solved today in other industries using decentralized communities powered by blockchain and other creator economy tools. Blossom is the first company to bring these tools to wellness creators, starting with health coaches, life coaches, and fitness trainers. Data shows people reach goals way more effectively when they're part of a community where they feel belonging, ownership, and accountability. There are over 25 million wellness creators in North America, building communities of people dedicated to helping each other reach health goals. But the tools they're using are outdated. They waste countless hours a week and over $3,000 a month piecing together multiple services to run their businesses and marketing themselves on platforms where they don't own their content. They feel frustrated battling algorithms and ever-changing platform policies. Wellness creators need a simple way to own their digital identities, monetize their communities, and share the upside of their success with their members. We've seen the success of other decentralized communities. Friends with Benefits is like decentralized Soho House. Bored Ape Yacht Club is like decentralized Coachella. Blossom is the first platform to leverage Web3 to grow decentralized wellness communities. Blossom is like decentralized Equinox. So how exactly does Blossom help wellness creators grow, manage, and monetize their communities? We know we're not at Web3 mass adoption yet, so we built an amazing on-ramp with tools that they know how to use. We make it super simple for them to host their groups, create and sell their on-demand courses, and run their one-on-one or group live sessions all on the platform. They also get super simple booking, payment, and one-on-one or group communications to help their clients stay on track with their health goals. Wellness creators get a high-converting 2-click sales checkout and the option to create NFT-gated communities and content with no crypto experience needed. This sets them up for success. Blossom makes money with a subscription fee for creators and transaction fee for members. The market is enormous and growing. There are 64 million weekly searches for wellness-related content, and the annual spend on holistic wellness services, similar to the one sold on Blossom, is $595 billion, and that's growing at 10%. So what have we built so far? We have 410 wellness creators and their communities, which represents 2 million followers. We just signed our first wellness brand partnership that's bringing 60,000 engaged members to the platform. And we've been growing at 46% month over month since Q1 22. All of this with $0 spent in marketing. Our goal is 50,000 happy wellness creators and their communities. This sets us up for $100 million in annual recurring revenue. We're the team with a track record of success. My co-founder and CTO is a 2-time founder with 1 exit. My other co-founder and head of community and I have already built and sold a corporate wellness business. And our advisors are experts in health, wellness, and blockchain. My name is Jennifer Krautbas. I'm the founder and CEO of Blossom. Book a meeting with me to discover how we're helping millions of people live happier, healthier lives, because life is awesome.
Amazing, Jennifer. That pitch always gets me so excited just to see how you guys are approaching this space because there's so much noise, I think, in regard to Web3. And as well, like the wellness community has not really been ushered into some of the many advances of technology. And so I want to just ask you a few questions before we jump into our next pitch about what you're working on with Blossom to give our audience a deep of some of the in and outs and the inner workings of what Blossom is. So like I was curious about this when we first met. What do you see the potential market size for Blossom? Like, how big do you see it?
Market is enormous and growing. The annual spend on holistic wellness services, similar to the ones that the creators sell on Blossom, is $595 billion. That's growing at 10%. And there are over 25 million wellness creators. So if 50,000 of them run their practices on Blossom, our revenue potential annually is $100 million.
Wow, incredible. So just to kind of add to that, like, what's your growth strategy for the next couple of months, 3 months?
Yeah. So we're going to continue what we've been doing because it's been working super well. We do events, very high touch, value add marketing, lots of education, to your point, on Web3. And we are partnering with wellness and lifestyle brands, as well as partnering with institutions and universities that are certifying health coaches and executive coaches, so that this upcoming next generation of coaches can, build their businesses on Blossom.
Huge. Oh, you mentioned this. I'm just going to ask lastly here before we jump into our next pitch. Give me some insight on some of the traction Blossom has so far.
Yeah, so we have 410 wellness creators, and they love Blossom. They love the product and the mission, and they represent collectively about 2 million followers. So that we're super stoked about that.
Wow, amazing! Thank you so much, Jennifer. Amazing
Thanks.
Pitch. All right, let's jump into our next pitch. Let's keep it moving. Next, we have up Debo Banjo from MyCover AI. He's the CEO of MyCover AI. MyCover AI is just an incredible company that is building, as they say, a safety net for Africa, and doing so through insurance API integrations. So without me taking away from their pitch, let's jump right into it.
Insurance penetration in Africa is currently at 3%, but that number is largely driven by South Africa, which has a penetration rate of 17%. When you take out South Africa, that number drops to about 1.2%, and the situation is even worse in Nigeria, where penetration is less than 1%. Today in Nigeria, about 82% of the population pay for healthcare out of pocket. That's over 160 million people without health insurance. Honestly, that's a tragedy. Imagine a nursing mother who can't afford quality healthcare for herself and her child, or a breadwinner who dies without a life insurance policy, leaving the family with so much uncertainty and a spiral towards abject poverty. Sad, right? This is the risk Africans face with insurance penetration remaining so low across the continent. Insurance distribution is a big problem across Africa, and we are solving this leveraging technology and product innovation. My name is Debo, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of MyCover.ai, and we are transforming the way Africans utilize and experience insurance by embedding policies into their favorite products and services, and by streamlining the claims process. MyCover.ai is insurance when you need it. Our solution is an open insurance API that allows insurance companies to distribute their products faster and cheaper. It enables innovators to embed insurance into their current offerings or launch new insurance verticals, and ultimately deliver great experiences to customers. Our AI-powered claims management service helps insurance companies to streamline their claims processes, reduce fraud, while also saving time and money. To deliver this service, we partner with insurance companies, onboard their products or co-create products with them, and then enable other innovators to offer these products on their platforms leveraging our API. Today, we have 6 insurance partners, 20 products, and 10 distributors onboarded, with many more lined up. Currently, MyCover.ai enables Bolt, a ride-sharing platform, to offer personal accident cover to its riders, while also making health insurance available to the underbanked through our bar, a micro-pension company. These partnerships have simplified access to insurance for over 100,000 people, with over 20,000 already insured. Other collaborators are e-commerce platforms, fintechs, and telecom companies. MyCover.ai is essentially creating a world where insurance is easy and accessible. Our business model is simple. We take between 10 to 20% commission on every policy sold through our API. However, we make higher margins from co-created products. Future revenues will anchor here, but will also include revenues from our AI-powered claims management service for insurance companies, which will be launched in Q4 of this year. In the last 18 months, we've generated over $1.3 million in gross written premiums and earned over $400,000 in revenue. Over the next 12 months, we intend to hit $4 million in gross written premiums and $1.2 million in annual recurring revenue. By 2025, we intend to have operations in 5 African countries while generating over $10 million in annual recurring revenue. We are a committed team of astute professionals with over 40 years combined experience in strategy, business development, insurance, product development, and software engineering. This team is led by myself, a strategist and business development professional, Alex, a product superstar, and Fred, the engineering whiz. The insurance market in Africa is currently valued at $70 billion and is expected to grow by 7% annually, making it the second fastest growing market globally. Likewise, the insurtech space is producing many unicorns around the world, and my Cover.ai is positioned to lead this growth in Africa by transforming the insurance experience for everyone along the value chain. We are a Delaware company operating in Africa with plans for global expansion. Partner with us today as we create a safety net for Africans.
All right, Debo. Hey, that was awesome.
Hi, Gabby. Thank you.
Yeah, so I had a couple of questions for you based on things that we've gotten from others. So the first one is, do you think that you'll be limiting your operations to Africa only?
Absolutely not. While we aim to operate across the continent first, so we are in Nigeria now. We have expansion plans to other African countries, but the moment we are done with that, we would progress to other emerging markets and eventually even to the developed world, including Canada as we speak.
Amazing. And the other question, and I know you touched a little bit on this during your pitch, but in distributing insurance products, are you focused on health insurance products only, or do you plan to expand?
No, we are not. While health insurance is one of our key areas of focus because of just the gap that there is in the market, we also have other products. Like we mentioned, in the pitch, there are over 20 products. So we are looking at products in logistics, products in travel, products in fintech, products in e-commerce. Generally, the idea for us is to identify the various verticals and the challenges that Africans are facing in those verticals and then create products that would provide a safety net for them.
So incredible. And I hope that everybody that's watching wants to get an intro to Debo and his team at MyCover. They are doing absolutely incredible things across Africa, and you heard it here first that they are going to be expanding to the rest of the world. So you should keep your eye out for these guys. They're sharpshooters. All right.
Thank you.
We are absolutely. We are on to our next pitch, which will be Moiwa Faulkner from Black Copper.
Hi, I want to tell you about Viv. She's a beauty entrepreneur who sells makeup on Instagram. She has about 10,000 followers and has a regular stream of monthly income. She does well for herself and her family, but she doesn't know how to scale her business. Next, I'd like you to meet Tony. He owns a supermarket in the open market in Lagos, Nigeria. He does decently well and provides for himself and his family of 5 with his income. But he knows his expenses are growing and he will need to grow his business in some way. Both of them have the same problem. Their inability to grow their business is minimal due to their inability to access working capital. They have no business registration, they use their personal accounts, and their transactions are predominantly cash. Their current banks cannot support them because they deem them risky. Forget about Nigeria for a second and think of a developed country. 2 of the main pillars that help them to develop are 1, a healthy credit system, and a vibrant small business segment. In emerging markets, nano businesses are unable to access working capital. In fact, 50% of these entrepreneurs fail within their first 12 months of business due to lack of financial support. This leads to their inability to sustain or improve their lives and their general affairs. This problem exists because 1, Traditional banks are restricted by their legacy infrastructure. 2, these banks do not have enough data to make decisions about Viv and Tony. And 3, customers like Viv and Tony are expensive to acquire and their margins are very thin. About 1.7 billion people in the world have no access to finance. 76% of them live in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. In Nigeria alone, there are 43 million micro businesses like Viv and Tony, but only 4% of them have ever gotten access to credit. PwC estimates that the financing gap for Nigerian micro businesses is around $1 billion annually. We solve this problem with our proprietary algorithm that processes aggregated digital data with machine learning models that help us reduce the financial risk of supporting people like Viv and Tony. We validate the real-time location, confirm their identity, review their capacity, and estimate their willingness to pay back. This algorithm powers Black Copper, our neobank, to help us achieve our dream of enabling nation building by empowering nano businesses, solopreneurs, and freelancers through access to financial services such as loans, savings, bills payments, and a digital community that supports them through their entrepreneurial journey. Since Black Copper's launch in September 2020, we've disbursed over $4 million in loans and generated over $1 million in revenue from over 170,000 users. 40,000 of them are active and they are all spread across Nigeria. At Black Copper, we make money majorly through interest on our loans, fees and commissions for our other services. We've achieved this traction with a team of people who are smart, dedicated, and passionate. My name is Muiwa, and I am the co-founder and CEO of this great team. I met my co-founder Aziz during my time at GT Bank, where our love for SMEs started 11 years ago. We worked together to build the SME version of the bank's corporate internet banking. Aziz was the engineer on the project, while I was the product sales manager. This was our first-hand experience of the neglect that small businesses experience in emerging markets. They say when you're climbing the ladder of success, make sure it's leaning against the right wall. Ours is leaning against 3 strong veterans who have over 30 years experience in digital payments, growth marketing, and finance. Over the next year, we want to triple our customer base, our loan disbursements, and our revenues as we help more nano and micro businesses achieve their dreams of immense growth in their business. To join Black Copper in achieving our vision of enabling nation building and empowering more business owners like Viv and Tony, please feel free to reach out to me to discuss further.
All right, Muiwa. I'm going to jump off. Oh, okay. I will jump off so that Alicia can ask you these questions and I will come back.
Right.
Great job, Muiwa. Really,
Thanks,
really impressive pitch. And also work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember from the first meeting we had with you, I just thought, wow, these guys are onto something, and the traction that you had then and have only increased throughout program to where you are now has always stood out as a key differentiator with the Black Copper team. And so with that being said, I'm very curious, and maybe, I think this is great to kind of share with our audience here of investors and interested community, what does your team do differently than other fintechs and other companies growing at the same stage as you?
Excellent. I think the most important thing that we're doing is, first, we're bringing our experience in banking and finance. So we're not just product people or engineers. We're essentially people who understand finance and understand small businesses as well. We're bringing that experience that we've used now to build an algorithm that uses alternate data to make decisions about these nano micro businesses. And their biggest challenge usually is the fact that a lot of their transactions are cash. And because of that, we now have started finding out ways of digitizing their business. So you offer them POS terminals such that you'll be able to see more of their transactions. You offer them payment solutions so that you can see more of their transactions. And that can in turn lead you into a path of offering them revenue financing to help them grow faster.
Interesting. And then because a big bulk of the business, right, is the loans and the micro lending, do you lend off your own balance sheet? And is that what you're particularly raising for today?
So we do lend off our own balance sheet, but we're currently not raising for that. We're raising equity to expand the operations, bring on more experienced people onto the team, and also our expansion into other countries, because what we're solving for is not just a Nigerian problem. It's it's a global problem in emerging markets all around the world. So as we continue to grow, we're looking at doing Ghana, Uganda, Tanzania, and in other markets as we go over the next 12 to 18 months. So our balance sheet, we raise separately as savings, fixed investments from individuals, from finance houses, from other financial institutions as well.
Wow, great work. Yeah, and everyone, I just want to say, you know, this is an incredible founder and CEO driving Black Copper to the moon. So I highly suggest you get in touch, reach out, ask for an intro, make a commitment, because this is one you don't want to miss.
Thank you, Alicia.
All right, thank you so much, Mawiwa. Let's get to our next company. Thank you again so much.
All right.
Next up, we have Samir from Social Champ. Social Champ is a really interesting company. We like to think of them as a more cost-effective Hootsuite, really taking over the globe, especially in emerging markets, but also the US. Let's dive into what Samir has to say about Social Champ.
At Social Champ, we help people become incredible social media managers. The pandemic has changed everything. It has forced small businesses in emerging markets to sell on social media to survive. Also, consumers want direct brand engagement for authenticity before making a purchase. And the worst part is that existing management tools ignored SMBs in emerging markets and raised their pricing by over 60% during the pandemic. Fantastic. Creating and posting content is also just not enough. These tools ignore the importance of influencers, insights, direct customer engagement, and stayed stagnant. Hi, I'm Samir, CEO at Social Champ. We are an easy-to-use yet powerful social media management platform. We help businesses publish content, give them tools to track analytics, suggest content, engage with the audience, and much more, all from one place. We are the most cost-effective platform and will continue to be as our incredible team operates from Pakistan. We support most social networks and have powerful integrations that help businesses streamline their workflow. We have 200,000 in annual recurring revenue with 1,250 monthly active users and 700 paying customers. We have helped users publish 61 million posts on social media. And once we launched, Guy Kawasaki, as well as many social media influencers, loved the product and gave a public testimonial. And then many businesses started using and talking about the product. We are going after this huge and massively growing market. The global market size of social media management is expected to be $833 billion by 2026. Emerging markets will play a significant role in driving this growth. For example, with over 200 million people in Pakistan, it has 12 million online businesses that now have access to payment solutions that they didn't have before. And the best part is that 82% of our customers find us through organic Google searches. Our customer-driven approach helps us build the right product, and we ship features in just 15 days. Given our team's experience in emerging markets, we understand their challenges, and while still capturing customers from developed markets, like 52% of our customers are from the United States. This is our incredible team of 21. We do all of our marketing, design, development in-house. Meet my co-founders. We have been together since 2009, graduated from the same university, and tried 3 startups. Zohaib is skilled in technology and scaling products. Shakir is a wizard when it comes to financials and numbers. I am a digital trainer who loves performance-based marketing and product-led growth. Our vision is to build an ecosystem that helps businesses grow by providing them with tools to save time and money. One more thing before I go. What if there is a single place where a business can search for right influencers to promote their business based on their social reach? With that in mind, we are so excited to launch Your Champ in our ecosystem. This is a game changer for businesses. They can now find the right influencer from a single place based on their social reach. If you'd like to join us, Guy Kawasaki, and hundreds of customers and investors email me at samir@socialchamp.io and be part of the future of social media. Thank you so much.
Great work, Samir. I'm just gonna, ask you to join me here. I really love that pitch. I think you provide so much information and value in explaining sort of the landscape that Social Champ is currently dominating. One thing you didn't get into in your pitch that I'm curious to know, and I'm sure everyone here watching is what drove you to start Social Champ?
Yeah, that's a great question. We were working on our third startup and trying to search for marketing strategies. And we read a book by Kai Kawasaki and Greg Fitzpatrick called The Art of Social Media. And we looked into a strategy called repurposing your content automatically. We searched for tools out there in the market, couldn't find any, so built one for our own use. And accidentally, people started loving this tool more than our third startup. So we decided to stop working on the third startup and start focusing on this. And since that day, it's all been customer-driven approach. The features we kept adding were the request of the customers, what they need, the design. That was how the company came into existence.
Wow, incredible. So you actually built it to solve a challenge you were having in another business.
Yeah, correct. And my birthday was coming like 2 weeks ago later. So I told my co-founder, let's just build this. And he told me that I'm going to gift you the back end of the project on your birthday. So on my birthday present, I got the back end of Social Champ.
Wow, what a story. And I'm curious, I know you're raising, so everyone hit that request for an intro button and make some commitments now live while we're on here. But curious, what you plan to do with the capital you're raising and where that's going to take Social Champ.
Correct. We want to invest most of the money in marketing the product. A lot of customers are now moving from other platforms to Social Champ, especially the emerging markets, since now they have access to payment solutions, and it's cost effective for them. So we'll spend most of this money in paid advertisement. 82% of the customers are finding us through organic search. It's steady growth, but we want to just spread like a fire, be hope for social media managers so that we can save their time and money to manage social media. So it's just marketing, 60-70% marketing. Yeah.
Wow, incredible. Thanks again so much for an amazing pitch and all of the really interesting sort of behind the scenes information you're able to share with our audience today. Thanks again, Samir.
All right, guys. See ya. Thank you.
Bye. Next up, we have a really incredible company called GigMile. Founder is Coyote. He's actually hailing from Ghana. I particularly love this company because of the problem that they're solving. And it's this very unique way that they are solving it. The gig economy in Africa is blowing up, and they are really, I think, democratizing access to it in a way that is revolutionary, and opening up and building and helping to build an even bigger middle class for all of Africa. So without further ado, let's jump right into GigMile.
The gig economy in Africa is being held back. In the last decade, Africa has seen the launch of several digital platforms like Uber Eats, Jumia, and Bolt. Upon the launch of these platforms, they expect to record exciting traction, as you often see in Europe and America. But this is hampered by key challenges. One of these challenges is the very limited supply of gig workers required to fulfill demand. This ironically shouldn't be the case for a continent with a staggering unemployment rate of over 10% and a massive youth population of well over 400 million. My co-founder and I are ex-country managers from Jumia, which is dubbed the Amazon of Africa. We saw firsthand the gap in the ecosystem through our work with thousands of mobility gig workers. These gig workers in the west and central of Africa are estimated to need access to $3 billion of credit facilities annually to finance the vehicles they require to work. From the very limited access to financing for productive assets to the difficulty in unlocking other financing products that they require to succeed. It has continued to be an uphill challenge for these workers to participate in the gig economy. Hi, my name is Coyote Adenka, and I'm the CEO of GigMile. At GigMile, we are building the services and financial infrastructure aimed at democratizing access to asset financing, working capital, and key services which gig workers require to succeed across Africa. Let me tell you a story, and this is the story of Sam. Sam struggled as a gig worker running deliveries while using a rented bike. He earned an average monthly net income of $70 with frequent visits to the repair shop as his rented motorbike was aging. He had no pathway to ownership of the motorbike and no savings for the rainy days. Sam was unable to access financing via banks as this demography of individuals is often overlooked or ineligible for products offered by traditional financial institutions. Sam joined the gig mile community and grew his income by over 300% as he was given a brand new bike, trained on how to succeed as a gig worker, and connected to work on the digital platform of his choice. He is now on a clear pathway to the ownership of the motorcycle within 12 months. Through our mobile app, gig workers via alternative credit scoring algorithm get qualified for various financing options, ranging from motorcycle financing, smartphone financing, and fuel advance. They also get access to earned wages and the continuous support they need to succeed on our partner platforms. Gigmal operates a simple business model via two revenue streams. We take a 4 to 7% monthly margin charge on the financing offerings, and a 2 to 4% earnings commission charged for gig workers connected to partner platforms as platform fees. The African market has a potential for over 50 million mobility gig workers, and there's nothing stopping us from building a solid infrastructure for this market. We launched this year, and in the last 4 months, we have secured business partnerships with top digital platforms operating in Africa. We've closed an exciting partnership with a major motorcycle manufacturer to ensure continuous access to the required assets. We started operations in Ghana and Nigeria with an asset under management well over $250,000. We have continued to increase revenues with month-on-month growth of over 25%. We've built a gig community of 300 plus members with a current pipeline of over 3,000 mobility entrepreneurs for which we can unlock up to $1.2 million in net revenue. Samuel is my co-founder and CEO with over 8 years of experience and exposure to last mile logistics and operations excellence. He oversees process development and overall business operations. Aaron is our head of engineering with over 6 years of experience working with companies like Andela and Boost Technologies. I've had over 10 years of experience in both digital and the financial space, working with companies like Jumia and Bank of America. I currently lead our strategy, growth, and organizational structure, whilst driving business profitability. Gigmile is transforming Africa's gig economy. If you're an investor, partner, or organization interested in talking with us, please feel free to contact us, and we'll be glad to have you join us as we empower thousands of mobility-based gig workers across Africa. Thank you.
Hi, Coyote. Incredible pitch.
Hi, Alicia.
Yeah, I'm happy
Thank you.
that we're doing this Q&A because your company is one that I feel is at such a rapid growth speed and changes from week to week. So I think even from the time you created that pitch into now, a lot of those numbers I'm sure are changing. As every time I talk to you, there's new partnerships, there's new traction, there's just so much growth. And so I'm just so eager to dive into a few questions quickly before we jump into our next pitch with you. Yeah, so I know you kind of woven in there a single narrative around Sam as sort of like your target customer and who you service. And I'd like for you to just like expound upon that a little bit more, and maybe share with our audience here who in particular is the gig mile customer and what are the different personas or customer types that you service.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Alicia. As a gig mile, we have two broad customers. On one part, the customers are the digital commerce platforms, e-commerce platforms, mobility companies that we actually work with. Many of these companies are looking to actually scale their businesses, and they consider gig mile a platform that they can literally plug into to be able to scale their business. On the other part is the actual mobility entrepreneurs, both new and existing mobility entrepreneurs that are looking to get into the gig economy space, but struggle to actually have the needed access to the productive tools they need to thrive within the gig economy space. So we consider ourselves as a marketplace on one part solving the challenges and problems of platforms, and on the other being able to work directly with these mobility entrepreneurs to make them meet the supply challenges that these platforms have.
Wow. Wow. Very interesting. And like, so just, I mean, a part of chatting with this community today is a part like really communicating the massive market opportunity here that GigMile is sort of found its place in, but then also like educating a little bit on the problem you're solving. So could you just dive in a little bit into the problem and explain why this is such a big problem and why you and Sam in particular are solving it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a huge problem. The logistics and mobility actually drive Africa's, informal space. Today, as mentioned, there's a huge gap in the space already to actually find these employed or unemployed gig workers that are able to play in the space. Many of them are available, as you will possibly know, unemployment in Africa is more than 10%. But the challenge they actually have is to be able to get access to the needed tools. In urban cities across Africa today, there are more than 50 million people that are waiting and looking to participate either in mobility or in logistics, but struggle to actually get the needed access to this. This for us today, it's a market of more than $22 billion that we're able to unlock in net revenue just by being able to provide the needed tools and products that this segment of customers actually need to excel.
Yeah. And I know you and your co-founder are ex-country managers of Jumia. And so I just share quickly why you guys are so passionate about solving this particular problem.
Yeah, the interesting thing is I haven't spent more than 8 years working at Jumia, myself and Sam. We saw firsthand the challenges. Most of these mobility entrepreneurs, they're one of the most hardworking people. They work long hours, but they are largely understaffed. They are also largely underbanked. And we felt that, they needed to be a solution to address this. We've worked with entrepreneurs, and we actually decided to start GigMile from a personal experience. At some point, I had someone approach me, one of the drivers that knew me, and approached me and said, can I buy him a bike? And that was where he started. So I bought the first bike, he was making the repayments, and then before I knew it, he then referred a friend that came as well, and the whole journey started. And at some point, we felt that we were ready to actually solve for this problem that exists in the ecosystem, and that's what really led us on this journey. So it's actually quite dear to me. While at the core for us is the business, but we are big on impact. We see lives change just by virtue of providing these tools that they need to increase their financial resilience, livelihood as well.
Wow, incredible. And just quickly, like, who are some of the partners that you guys are working with now to deploy to such a huge market size?
Sure. So today we're working with Bold Food across our markets in Nigeria and Ghana. We're working with Jumia, we're working with Fendi, we're working with Glovo as well. And there's so many other logistics companies that we're actually working with, and the numbers keeps increasing. There's huge demand for what we're solving for, and the partnerships exist, and we keep unlocking every other day.
Yeah. Wow, incredible. Thanks so much, Coyote. It's just such a joy for this audience to be able to get to know you in this very brief time. Just a glimpse of what we've gotten to see over the last 12 weeks. And so I implore you, request to connect with him, make a commitment. This is definitely one you want to get on before the train leaves the station. Just in the last 6 months, the rapid growth since inception into now, it's just mind-blowing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alicia.
You're welcome. Okay, next up we have a really interesting company. Founder is Kalichi. Company is Bungalow. They are building the mortgage infrastructure for Africa, starting in Nigeria. Just their approach and what they've built up until now, and the innovativeness and creativity is just astounding. So let's jump right into it. I'll leave it to them to kind of tell you what I already know.
97% of mortgage lenders in Nigeria are not digitized. In a country that's expected to house over 400 million people by 2050 and 1 billion people by the end of the century, accessibility to home financing in Nigeria and much of Africa should be a click away. Unfortunately, Africa's reality is different. Home ownership rates in many large African markets are well below 10% compared to 62% in developed markets. Africa's home ownership rates will likely remain unchanged if left unaddressed, as real estate prices are poised to go up, leaving many Africans wondering how they are to build wealth if they cannot get on the housing ladder. But homeownership shouldn't be this out of reach due to lack of digitization. The exponential rise of neobanks in Africa over the last few years coincides with an increased opportunity to digitize financial products, including mortgages. Traditional banks are now racing to digitize their product offerings in response to neobanks, creating a massive opportunity for Bungalow to provide a platform that enables all to plug in and instantly launch digital mortgage solutions. We're on a mission to make mortgages radically accessible in Africa by digitizing the home financing value chain. We embed our mortgage solution in traditional banks, neobanks, as well as in the arms of real estate agents and brokers. Without tools, traditional mortgage banks can increase their reach and originate faster by instantly going digital. Neobanks can expand their product offering, diversify their revenue base, and reach high-income depositors seeking mortgages. Real estate agents and brokers can sell and earn more by leveraging our mortgage platform to pre-qualify and send leads to partner banks who in turn use our technology to originate faster. Bungalow is an embedded home financing solution seeking to reverse the lack of digitization that has made homeownership inaccessible on the continent. We've signed agreements with 2 mortgage lenders and are deploying and embedding our mortgage solution in these banks. Once deployed, we will give over 8 million banking customers a chance at home ownership. Outside of these efforts to digitize home financing within banks, we have empowered over 300 real estate agents and brokers with our mortgage solution and are aggressively onboarding many more. Our partner agents send an average of 3 leads a month, further strengthening our value proposition to mortgage lenders as a provider of automation and lead generation services. Our business model is based on charging up to 1% of the mortgage value at transaction close and require an annual servicing fee of up to $24,000 from each lender. For customers sent via our agent network, we make 3% of the mortgage value at transaction close and share 50% of these proceeds with our partner agents. Our beachhead launch market of Lagos, Nigeria represents a mortgage origination opportunity of $175 billion alone, with many other emerging market cities in sight. To seize this opportunity, our team has spent the last 2 years brokering mortgages and deeply interfacing with lenders and consumers alike. We have years of experience building high-quality software solutions in Canada with companies such as BlackBerry and CoinSquare, and are passionate about solving some of Africa's most pressing needs. Our vision is to establish the largest platform for processing and brokering long-term consumer loans in Africa. Join us today in making home financing radically accessible and giving every African the opportunity to build wealth through homeownership.
I'm going to welcome Kalichi to the stage. Hi, Kalichi. How are you?
Hi. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but
Yeah.
I believe you can hear me. All right, awesome. Hi, Alicia. How are you?
Great. You know, I love the way you closed your pitch, sort of hinting at generational wealth and connecting that to home ownership. You know, we've seen studies in the U.S. That have shown historical generational wealth is specifically tied to home ownership. And so I love that you're framing it in that way. We had another company from a last class that was PropTech, and we were sort of digging through the data of home ownership and through the numbers. And the numbers were quite startling in regard to how many people rent versus own. And so, you know, I just want to dive in quickly before we jump into the next pitch and get into sort of your perspective of why Bungalow and what have you been doing up until now as far as like the go-to-market strategy, and how are you driving this forward?
Right. So we actually started as a consumer business. You know, we were deeply interfacing with banks and consumers. And I think for us, we realized that the experience was quite broken, and we wanted to sort of bring everyone together, right? It should be a digital experience, you know, end to end. So what we've been doing is that we've been pulling gatekeepers of capital with gatekeepers of customers and being the middleman there. And the strategy has been, quite good. So as of today, we're deploying our solution in 2 major banks in the country of Nigeria. We have over 300 agents, and we're seeing very strong tractions. So yeah, it's been working so far.
Yeah, I see. And from my perspective on the investment team, one of the questions that I always like to ask founders, both ask and then sort of watch over time what that answer actually is. And that is why you and why this company or solution? Why are you the person to build and drive this?
Yeah. So why us? So we started off as a consumer business. We were, brokering these products. So we've already sort of established a strong relationship with banks. So to now upsell them on a SaaS solution has been quite easy, actually. So we had converted the business into a SaaS solution in the 2nd month of this year. And since then, we're now essentially, by the end of the month, we would have 3 banks on the platform, and everyone knows how long that sales cycle is. If you're going to acquire 1 bank, it will typically take you 6 months to do. But because we have the existing relationships already, it's been quite it's been much easier for us to do.
Yeah, I see that. And then just quickly before you get out of here, like, how do you see this product evolving as a SaaS solution? I love that when companies do a very high touch approach first and then shift to SaaS. I think it's like the best way to go because you have so many customer insights and you can build more acutely to service your customer, which I'm a huge fan of. So tell me a little bit of how you envision Bungalow moving forward and in the future.
Yeah. So our customers are already sort of demanding that we move towards a particular location. So if you go to a bank's website right now and you click on the mortgage page, you will see the bank's name bungalow.com. So by us powering that loan product, a lot of banks have already been asking us, can we do this for like the car financing space as well? So I think this is where the company is probably going to evolve to, where if we can digitize as much banking products as possible, we will. Our banking clients have already made this request, and it's going to be sort of the future of the company.
Yeah. Wow, it sounds incredible, and lots of blue ocean there. So I know you guys will continue to knock it out of the park. Just want to implore everyone and remind everyone to request a connection, get to know Kalichi and the Bungalow team. Make a commitment now because this is, again, another to get in early before they really rocket ship to the moon. Thank you so much, Kalichi.
Awesome. Thank you, Alicia. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's keep it moving. Next up, we have Ryan Pereira, CEO of Captain AI. Captain AI is a really, really innovative company that you're going to get to see a little bit under the hood through Ryan's pitch. And one that from the very beginning I saw was like, wow, this is a massive, massive problem they're solving, specifically within the delivery space for restaurants, both chains and small to medium-sized restaurants. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
We're at an inflection point where food delivery is no longer a nice to have for restaurants, but essential to their survival. And even though we've seen the rapid rise of food delivery marketplaces, the unit economics of solely relying on third-party delivery simply doesn't work for many restaurants. And that's why every day, hundreds of thousands of restaurants still do their own deliveries with their own drivers. But doing delivery with your own drivers is hard, and doing delivery without the right technology is even harder. Without technology, dispatchers are using paper maps on walls and phone calls to organize their orders. Without technology, restaurants are operating blind. When a driver leaves the restaurant, they have no idea where the driver is or when they'll return. And customers can't track their orders or get an ETA. Executives who want to improve their operations are left helpless with no delivery data or insights. The result of this is slower and more expensive deliveries with a poor, inconsistent customer experience. And restaurants are losing customers, losing drivers, and losing money. We built Captain to change this. Captain is a software for restaurant that adds technology to every part of the delivery lifecycle. We've made it easy for chefs, managers, dispatchers, drivers, and executives to seamlessly work together. We want to empower every restaurant in the world to be experts at delivery. Using Captain, restaurants can prepare orders at exactly the right time with our smart kitchen system. Captain's AI enables restaurants to automatically assign and group orders for drivers, achieving the fastest possible delivery times with the lowest possible fuel cost, while simultaneously maximizing food freshness. And restaurants can engage their customers by sending them custom-branded live order tracking links, whilst executives can use Captain's dashboards and analytics to get real-time insights into their delivery operations and optimize their businesses. Hi. My name is Ryan and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Captain AI. I'm proud to be leading a team where on-demand delivery is in our DNA. As co-founders, we built one of the first same-hour food, grocery and retail delivery marketplaces in the UK. And as co-founders, we've personally delivered hundreds and dispatched thousands of deliveries. We learned the hard way the challenges that come with scaling delivery, and we've been determined to automate on-demand delivery ever since. Our CTO Ingmar sold his first tech business when he was just 16 years old. And my co-founder Dehan is a developer, designer, and artist. Our head of partnerships, Andy, ran his own logistics company. And I'm a product-driven CEO and engineer who's previously founded 2 local marketplaces. We're a team that brings together logistics experience, tech skills, and a love for beautiful product. Today, Captain is being used in over 50 cities with nearly 1,000 restaurants signed to using the platform. And in the last 30 days alone, we powered over 500,000 deliveries. We've signed the largest delivery chain in Canada, Pizza, who say that Captain has helped them to innovate beyond their competitors. And during the Techstars program, we've grown our MRR by over 30%, and we're on track to hit 1 million ARR in the next 6 months. We've achieved all of this with a simple business model where we charge customers up to 40 cents a delivery or a flat monthly fee for the service. And we see the market for restaurant delivery software as an underpenetrated greenfield opportunity, and the market for hyperlocal last mile delivery as a multi-billion-dollar extension of this. On the strength of our product alone, we've achieved an incredible pipeline of customers, one where we expect to generate $5 million of ARR in the next 2 years from customers that we are already launching in the next 6 months. At Captain, we want to empower restaurants to own their deliveries, stay alive in their local communities, and thrive in this new era of on-demand delivery. And we have a bigger vision for Captain that goes beyond the SaaS product that you see today. If you'd like to learn more about where we're going next, then get in touch. Thank you.
Ryan, hello. That was incredible.
Thanks, Gabby.
Yes, yes. And I don't know if you guys heard that correctly, but Ryan is partnered with Pizza, which is the biggest pizza chain in all of Canada, correct, Ryan?
That's right.
That is absolutely amazing. So I just wanted to ask you a couple questions, but let's just kick it off. So what makes your team the team to build this?
Well, I think the main thing is that we really are a team that has lived and breathed on-demand delivery. We were one of the first teams in the United Kingdom to actually build an on-demand delivery marketplace for food, grocery, and retail, where we did same-hour deliveries. As co-founders, we actually dispatched thousands and delivered hundreds of deliveries ourselves. So we've really got the scars to prove it. And we spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make on-demand delivery profitable. And actually, the key to making restaurants successful in delivery is actually figuring out how to make them profitable by using tech. And so we've got tons of experience in doing that, and we're bringing that experience into Captain.
Absolutely. Amazing. So based on that, how fast are you guys actually growing?
It's a super exciting time for us at the moment, Gabby. We've been growing 17% month on month this year. We've signed, as you mentioned, the largest delivery chain in Canada, Pizza, and we're on track to hit 1 million in ARR in the next 6 months.
Yeah, only up from here. So actually, that kind of brings me to my next question. So what is your vision for Captain?
I think we're definitely a product-obsessed team. And first thing we want to do is make sure we've got the best product on the market. We're building the best product on the market. And we see a world where Captain becomes the gold standard for restaurants. we want every restaurant in the world to be using Captain as the gold standard for restaurant delivery to manage their in-house drivers and deliveries.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, Ryan, this has been amazing, amazing pitch. As a reminder, I know Alicia has been saying this, but if you want to get a hold of Ryan, you can click the Get Intro button below our video. He is an incredible founder with an incredible team, and I can't wait for you guys to get to know him more. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, Gabby.
So next up, guys, we have Lee Victor from Glade, and this is a fintech company coming from Africa. And with that, I will kick it off to Lee.
Every year, an estimated 30 million businesses owners in Africa experience more than $5 billion of lost revenue due to high transfer fee and exchange rate, scam, and lack of providers offering cross-border payment for businesses. Over 50% of small businesses fail in their first year of operation due to lack of support and access to the right financial solution. Meet Ifelua, a business owners in Nigeria who import products from China to businesses across Africa, the United Arab Emirates, and Asia. To purchase or sell goods internationally, Ifelua must use foreign currency. Unfortunately, her bank would support multi-currency or cross-border payment for her business, and her existing tool to send or receive foreign currency require high minimum that Ifelua can't afford. Ifelua is left with one option to register and open bank account for her business in each of these countries, which is nearly impossible due to regulatory compliance issue, delay, and high transaction fee. Additionally, Ifelua is frequently scammed and she's in constant fear of losing her business. Ifelua is not alone on this journey. Millions of other business owners are facing these challenges. My name is Lee Victor. I am the co-founder and CEO at Glade. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. While staying with my uncle during my school days, I realized he was having a lot of problems with his business in paying manufacturers and suppliers in other countries for him to get his supplies to grow his business. I experienced the stress he has to go through to send money via other third parties and bureau de exchange, and constantly his supply get delayed or lose money due to scam. I saw that as a big problem, which I believe that we can leverage on technology to solve this massive problem. This is the reason why we built Glade. It enables growing businesses to open global bank accounts and perform cross-border payment while providing their basic banking needs all on one user-friendly platform. Ifelua, like my uncle, can now open a global multi-currency account by signing up via our website or mobile app, entering her business detail, and upload a few business documents. Our system will set her up with a cross-border payment capability in less than 10 minutes. Ifelua can now send and receive cross-border payment overseas seamlessly with exchange rate that she can afford. We launched Glade in February 2020, and since then we have processed over $60 million in transactions with over 5,000 businesses on Glade. We are growing at 20% month-on-month basis and currently have waitlist of over 1,700 growing businesses eager to open multi-currency account and access cross-border payment for their business, and we are just getting started. Glade is addressing the 47 million businesses in Nigeria and will expand to address the over 250 million businesses across Africa. It is estimated that over $400 billion in cross-border payment occur annually, with loss of $5 billion due to lack of efficient cross-border payment solution. This market is growing at 10% annually, and the value of cross-border payment is projected to increase to over $800 billion in the next 5 years. Our business model at Glade is simple. We take transaction fee of 0.2% to 1% of every transaction made and value-added service provided. Our team has extensive experience in payment, banking, business, and technology to solve this problem. I have over 12 years of experience building banking and payment products for businesses, and my other co-founder and CEO, Temitope, has over 10 years of experience in business, operation, banking, and e-commerce. She has helped thousands of small businesses to grow and be more efficient. Together, we have both witnessed firsthand the problem I described here today. This is why we started Glade. We are fundraising to reach our goal of onboarding 300,000 growing businesses on Glade in the next 24 months, generating $3 million annual revenue. We are looking for investors and partners who are passionate about helping businesses to expand to other countries and who understand the huge potential for growth in this market. Reach out to me to discover how my team and I are solving this massive problem and how you can support us.
All right, Lee, my favorite guy.
Hi,
that was
Gabby. Nice to have you here.
So for those of you guys who don't know, Lee, on top of being an incredible founder, is also a comedian in my eyes. He's one of the funniest founders that I've ever worked with. He's always cracking jokes and has been a joy to have in program. So that's all I'll say about that. But make sure to press the Get Intro button to connect with Lee as he's building something absolutely incredible. So with that, Lee, why did you start Glade?
Well, thank you so much, Gabby. We started Glade based on personal experience, right? I came from a family of entrepreneurs, and also virtually everybody around me also entrepreneur. So there's something I noticed, especially in Africa, we are largely an import-based economy, right? You find that a lot of businesses need to buy from abroad for them to be able to do their business. But the problem now we have is, okay, how do you now make this transaction? How do you now get this item? How do you make payment for it? So having the first experience from my uncle, from my friend around me, I believe, okay, look, we can leverage on technology to be able to solve this problem. This is a hard brainer, right? So even if your bank, of course, they are not supporting you, you can be able to just from your mobile app, from your phone, create a multi-currency bank account, receive payment from anywhere you need to receive it from. Also make payments to your manufacturers, suppliers in China and other countries across the globe. So it's something that actually we're really passionate about, and also believe that we are the team to be able to do this. Thank you.
I agree. So how do you differentiate yourselves from the other competitors, since you said that you guys are the team to do this?
Yeah, so actually how we differentiate ourselves is very simple. The business we focus on businesses that are really the local businesses that want to grow global, right? These are the businesses that need to make payments outside the country, want to receive payment outside the country. So we're not just like typical fintech that just provide you with a local bank account. No, ours is, look, are you the business that really have focus on the global economy? Then we are your go-to-go. So these are the kind of businesses focus on. If you're a local business, you're growing businesses that really have do cross-border transaction. So we focus on building our technology towards the system to be able to provide this service. So that alone kind of differentiates us from other providers, because our focus is helping the local businesses move to the other markets and grow their businesses.
So incredible. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Lee. I appreciate it. Guys, get in touch.
I appreciate it.
So next up, we have Williams Fatayo from Truck, and what they are building is absolutely incredible as well. I know that I keep saying that about our founders, but I truly believe that for all of them. So these guys are automating and optimizing short-haul logistics across Africa. And with that, I will turn it over to William's pitch.
My name is Williams Fatayo, CEO of Truck. As far back as 2019, my co-founder, Folusha, and I faced significant logistics frustrations for years at our previous jobs. I was managing brand and marketing logistics for one of Nigeria's biggest banks, and she was coordinating event management and logistics for one of the biggest agencies also in Nigeria. But the frustrations from our jobs wasn't really what led us to start Truck. In June 2019, Folusha needed my help to move some furniture. What was supposed to be a quick and easy move within Lagos took us 4 days to find a vehicle that fits at a price that works, largely due to the inefficiency and lack of structure in the logistics system in Nigeria. As frustrating as our experience was, businesses across Africa are greater victims of the inefficiency and lack of structure in the logistics space. Most businesses that have logistics as a critical part of their workflow need to rely on third-party logistic partners to even manage to establish some form of efficiency. But that dependency comes with even more problems. These businesses struggle to access as many third-party logistics assets as they need. They lack control over pricing, and they don't have real-time oversight on these assets. Every year, about $40 billion is spent on third-party logistics services by businesses across Africa, and about $5 billion is then lost in revenue to the inefficiency of the same service. Folusha and I combine our personal and professional logistics experiences with our deep understanding of the customer base into building Truck, a platform that uses technology to automate and optimize short-haul and intracity logistics for businesses. Truck connects businesses to the closest vehicle, aggregates their cluster deliveries, and provides real-time oversight from pickup to drop-off. By Q4 2022, would release our embedded fintech feature for businesses to collect cash from informal retailers across their middle mile deliveries. Would also be releasing a robust inventory management and reconciliation system that will save them up to 6 hours of work every week. Currently, Truck takes 20% commission on every trip. And from Q4, we expect our revenue and margins to increase significantly once we launch our subscription-based services. The competitive space across Africa is in 3 segments: first mile and heavy duty logistics, small parcel logistics and bike deliveries. Then there is the middle segment, where mid-sized vehicles are needed for short-haul logistics. This is where Truck will dominate, providing access to multiple sizes of vehicles, driven by the best technology and customer experience possible. Since 2020, we have completed close to 10,000 moves, generating about $500,000 in revenue, servicing over 15 businesses, including some of the biggest B2B e-commerce companies in Africa, with about 500 drivers signed up to date. We did 13x our 2020 traction in 2021, and we're on track to do 10x our 2021 numbers by year end. By 2025, we'll be making $100 million in annual revenue, with markets present in at least 8 African countries. Folusha and I lead the team, with our experience and expertise in logistics, sales, and operations, alongside Michael, our head of engineering. Together, we will change how Africa experiences third-party logistics forever. We are incorporated in Delaware and ready to take on Africa and the world. Please get in touch. We can't wait to share our plans with you. Thank you.
Williams Fatayo, hi.
Hi, Alicia. How are you doing?
I'm great. And you know, that pitch just gives me so much life, and I'm sure our audience listening in as well, the passion that you bring into what you're building with Truck, with you and Felucia, it's remarkable. And to see the traction that you've had over the last short bit, I would say, you know, the last year, really, like 10,000 trips, like that's incredible. And many don't know, who aren't listening, and even who've seen your pitch, how much you've navigated the market, specifically starting in Nigeria, but as you expand out, you know, you aren't the only player in this space, and you've still been able to start and really build market share and really create your place with Truck. And so I just want to emphasize that as you guys are listening in, you know, this is a movement. Yeah, this is a movement, and you definitely want to be a part of it. So don't forget to request an intro, make some commits while we're talking. But before we jump into our next pitch, let's dive right in and just I want to ask you a few questions. I think that'll give the audience a little bit more insight about you and about what you're building with Truck. I love how you ended on the slide with you and your co-founder Felucia. I'm very curious, you know, how you guys met and why you two together decided to solve this problem.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alicia. My meeting with Felucia was super weird and interesting. We were on a bus together, moving from church back home, and I was standing up to some form of injustice on the bus, and she was far back at the back, cheering me on. Yes, you are right. You shouldn't let them cheat these people. I was like, who is this woman that I haven't seen before, supporting me on the ride? And after that whole experience, we got talking, we became friends. We saw firsthand how our vision, aspirations kind of aligned. In fact, we were trying to work on an idea previously, similar idea that was connecting people traveling to a destination to people that need to send items to the same destination. And we're figuring that out when our wardrobe, our furniture experience happened. So we just pivoted the idea, traveled across Lagos, built an Excel database of about 86 drivers, then designed a flyer with a phone number that was asking people to call that no phone number anytime they needed to move anything. That would get the closest vehicle to their door in an hour or less. 4th of January 2020, the first call came in. 5th of January, another call came in. 6th of January, 3 calls came in at the same time. And we kept executing trips, receiving calls, looking through an Excel sheet to find the closest driver to where the call was coming from, and making the trips happen. That was literally how we did our first 100 trips. And it's been such a journey since then. Felucia has been super phenomenal. I dare to say that we wouldn't have gotten here without her steering this ship with me. I always tell the members of our team that I can do or attempt to do everybody else's job on the team except her, and it makes sense. That's why we are partners. But Felucia is super 100, and I can't wait to see what we achieve together from here on out.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. I love you guys as a co-founding team. I think you have incredible synergy in the way you work together and the way you sort of divide and conquer to solve every day in the business. Yeah, and so let me just ask one more question. I think that'll be interesting for our audience. And before I do that, I love also, we're seeing a trend here, audience, if you're noticing, SaaS operations that first really started in very high touch and almost as service based, that have shifted into SaaS and are really dominating now that they're in the SaaS space. And I believe it's due in part to the learnings that you got when you were very high touch and you were very service based, because you get that front row seat rather to your customers and their needs and their pain points, and really and truly how to solve them. So well done on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as we can see, through your deal page and through your pitch, you've got incredible traction. But let's take it a step further beyond the traction. Can you speak to some of the impact that Truck is having beyond the traction in this space?
On the impact side, three things kind of stand out for me every single time. One is that personally, over the course of my life, I've had this relentless commitment to driving gender equality and providing opportunities to the female gender at every point in time through my journey. Aside starting Truck with a female co-founder, over 50% of our team are female. And I was telling someone, was it 2 or 3 days ago, around the recruitment we're trying to do right now, that I have a slight bias to a female candidate for this role, because Truck for me is committing to provide seats at the table for as many females as possible through this journey for us. The second impact to it would be watching my team members sort of give their all and find fulfillment of our own audacity to give a problem a shot. To us, it was us trying to solve a problem. To them, it's them giving their all and chasing their own fulfillment on the platform of the problem we are trying to solve. And the third side to it would be the partners that execute trips on our platform. These guys usually on their own will do about 6 to 8 trips in a month. On the Truck platform, they average between 17 to 24 trips every month. Alicia, what that means to the quality of their lives, to the quality of their finance, to the wealth of their families, I can't communicate it well enough. A driver called me last December, was like, this is the first time he's having a really happy Christmas. He was able to take care of all of his stuff. He got a chicken for the first time in a long time, sort his rent, just because of accumulated traction that he's able to tap into on the Truck platform. Looking at it from those three sides, these are probably the three top reasons why I wake up every day and give it my best shot. This is the reason why I keep going, and this is probably why I would do it. I will ride this ship till the wheels fall off.
Gosh, Williams, I'm like tearing up over here. I have chills. I find this work to be so incredibly rewarding, because not only do we get to work with great founders like you who are building incredibly high growth companies, but we get to work with great people, great humans that are solving not only on the business side, but on the human side of what they're building. And so it's been such a joy and such a pleasure to get to know you and to see how you work and to really watch the growth that you guys have, the Truck team, that you, Felucia, the entire team has had over the last few months. And I know it's only going up from here. So well done. Thank you for joining us here. Thank you for sharing a little bit more insight about how Truck is rolling and operating on the back end. Thank you.
So much. Thank you so much, Alicia.
You're welcome. Well, in that same spirit, let's keep it going. This next company is Swag Kicks, Nafal Khan, an incredible founder. solving and disrupting in the circular fashion space. Nafal is hailing from Pakistan. He's got this incredible operation that he has revolutionized to really service the pre-loved market, which is massive in Pakistan. But not only that, has built a SaaS solution on the back end for corporate organizations who are trying to now mine their ESG and find ways to bring back a lot of their goods that they've created and repurpose them back out into the market. So I will let Nafal get into that more. So let's dive into Swag Kicks.
I love sneakers. A basic pair of brand new Nikes costs $60 in US, but the same shoes in Pakistan would cost $200 because of the import duties and taxes. To put it in perspective, the average household income per family in Pakistan is $600. Spending $200 on a brand new Nike gets impossible for many. The market is flooded with either sub-quality, locally produced shoes or smuggled replicas. Growing up, I couldn't really find a good, decent sneaker in Pakistan. That is when my school friend and now co-founder Hamza, whose family has been in the pre-loved trade business, took me to his warehouse. It was a sneakerhead's dream come true. I discovered pre-loved authentic Jordans, Air Force Ones, and from then on, I became known as the kid with the best kicks in school. Pakistan is a country of 140 million millennials and Gen Zs. We were curious if they were struggling to get access to branded fashion, so we decided to interview them. 98% of the respondents feel that it's very important to express themselves via fashion. These young Pakistanis are watching global trends on TikTok and Instagram. They want to dress like their online peers, but branded fashion is simply unattainable. It's a luxury reserved for the Western world. Swag Kicks is disrupting the market by making global brands accessible to millennials and Gen Zs in the emerging markets. We are sourcing pre-loved clothing and sneakers from across the world, washing and disinfecting them, and selling them at a fraction of their retail price. Pakistan is the second largest importer of pre-loved fashion. Karachi has a special economic zone facilitating tax-free trade on pre-loved goods. We have secured partnerships, exclusive partnerships with 5 of the largest importers who give us the privilege of cherry-picking from their stockpiles. In the last 18 months, we have fulfilled more than 50,000 orders. In May, our revenue was $120,000. Our gross margins are at 40%, and our customers love Swag Kicks. So 30% of our monthly orders are from repeat purchasers. We are right now in Pakistan and UAE. By the end of this year, we want to be in Africa. Last month, Pakistan put a ban on import of all luxury items, which includes brand new Nikes and Adidas. So now the demand for pre-loved authentic fashion is skyrocketing. Our proprietary tech, Thrift Tops, has enabled us to become 9 times more efficient when fulfilling orders. It optimizes processes like warehousing, listing, pricing, and dispatching for one-of-one inventory models in the circular fashion economy. To counter the fashion industry's heavy environmental footprint, circular fashion is emerging as a viable solution. More and more people are adopting thrift and vintage. The pre-loved industry is poised to become a $218 billion industry by 2026. I'm sure most of you are already aware of notable brands like Lululemon and Patagonia who are investing and leading the circular economy revolution. However, there's a growing interest from fast fashion empires like Zara and H&M to solve for their massive carbon footprint by engaging in recycling, repurposing, and redistribution of pre-loved fashion. Circular fashion is going to be the commodity for the future, and Thrift Tops is poised to become the operating system for circular fashion around the world. Our team is made up of world-class experts in supply chain, global procurement, e-commerce, and digital marketing. If you'd like to learn more about SwagKicks and the exploding sustainable fashion economy, get in touch. Thank you.
I'm going to welcome Nafal to Hi Nafal. How are
Hi,
you?
Alicia.
Hi Nafal.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. It's so good to have you here today, and to allow our audience to get to see, what you've been up to, not only throughout the last 12 weeks of program, but with Swag Kicks and Thrift Ops. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Alicia.
Yeah, I love how you said the circular fashion revolution is happening now, and I couldn't agree more. So I just want to ask you a few questions to get maybe a little inside look underneath the hood that maybe wasn't covered in the pitch, to give our investor audience and our Techstars Toronto community some greater insights into what you've been building and your entire team with Swag Kicks and Thrift Ops. I'm curious. I know personally, maybe you want to explain to our audience like the massive operation that you have in your team and your warehouse in Pakistan, and then maybe let us know how you source, secure, and supply the growing demand, especially with this new legislation in Pakistan.
All right, perfect. So we are a team of 70 people. We are a very operations intensive business, labor intensive. So supply is one of our biggest strong points, right? As I mentioned in the pitch, Pakistan is the second largest importer of used fashion in the world. So what's happening is these importers are buying directly in bulk from the Goodwills and the Salvation Armies of the world and bringing it into Pakistan. There's a special economic zone here facilitating pre-love trade. And these importers are actually sorting and re-exporting these products out to Africa, Southeast Asia, even Latin America. So what's happening is we have very special working relationships with 5 of the largest exporters in this zone. And they actually allow us to cherry pick from the stockpiles. And what's happening is that we are actually able to get into the process and intercept all the shoes from getting all the good shoes from getting re-exported out of Pakistan and list them on SwagKicks. And that Pakistanis, especially younger Pakistanis, access to good branded fashion at a fraction of the retail price, actually.
Wow, that's incredible. And then, I just think it's wild what you've built and how massive your team is and how much of the market you're servicing and even dominating, right, in Pakistan. I'm curious to learn a little bit more about Thrift Ops. You kind of touched on it in your pitch, but I think it's really interesting and it speaks to Swag Kick's presence in the global marketplace. Can you do that?
Sure. So I did tell you from where we got the idea of Thrift Ops. As we were scaling SwagKicks, we realized that we needed a tech solution to manage our inventory. We are in the business of what's called a one-of-one inventory model, right? So if we have 10,000 sneakers listed onto our website and in our warehouse, we have 10,000 unique items to manage, really, right? So we actually went ahead and developed our own technology.
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Samir. Or excuse me, Nafal. So Nafal is tuning in from Pakistan, and it's quite late there. And every now and again, we do have connectivity issues. He may join us later, but in the meantime, we can just...
I think we got him back if we want.
We got him back?
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh, we got you back.
Hi. Sorry for the interruption.
It's okay. Do you want to dive back into what you were explaining with Thrift Ops?
Yes.
So this is the dilemma of working with international founders, that sometimes our internet connections aren't always perfect. But I think
we've got him back. Here we go.
I'm really sorry for this.
No problem.
No, it's okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for being so supportive today and throughout the program as well. So I was talking about Thrift Ops. As we scaled, we realized that we needed a tech solution to manage our one-of-one inventory. And the tech solution that we built in-house actually helped us get 9 times more efficient while fulfilling orders, right? And it kind of optimized processes for us, like listing, warehousing, dispatching, and even automated pricing, right? So now that we have like a solution at hand, we actually thought of spinning it off as a SaaS product, because as you might also have seen, thrift stores are popping up in the world, right? The world is going towards sustainable fashion. Even like the bigger brands like Nike and Lululemon, they are getting into the e-commerce as well. And the sustainable fashion industry is poised to grow by $218 billion by 2025, which is like a couple of years ago away only. So we wanted to secure like a big chunk of this growing market. And this is how we will be doing it, by making Thrift Tops the operating system for reselling vintage and thrift all across the world.
Amazing, 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 amazing stuff. And like, you've told us a little bit about your operation and Thrift Ops, the SaaS solution that you've sort of built out of your 10,000 hours of doing this work to service companies that are going to want to engage in circular fashion now and in the future. Tell me a little bit about your team and why your team is the one poised to solve for this.
All right, so I just start off with the fact that we took an HBDI test, me and my 2 co-founders, and the test told us that we are a perfect team. So we have around 40 years, more than 40 years of collective experience between us. We are experts in pre-loved global procurement and supply chain, e-commerce operations, growing e-commerce operations, and digital marketing. So all the co-founders bring their unique skill sets to the table, and and we have a trade secret as well. So because Hamza has been in this pre-loved trade industry for so many years, more than 10 years now, he knows a lot of people, and he was able to secure us exclusive partnerships with the suppliers that we have today, right? And just the cherry on top, all 3 of us has known each other for a very long time. Hamza and I were childhood friends. Mateen and I have done a startup together 5 years back. So we are very gelled in as a team, and I think we are a perfect team to take on this challenge of the growing sustainable fashion industry.
I love that. I love that. The synergy between the team, you're not first-time founders, you have incredible market share, and it's only up from here with the new SaaS product. So I think now would be a great time, if you're interested, to hit that make a connection, make an intro button, to make a commitment telling you this team is taking off. Swag kicks to the moon. Okay, thanks so much, Nafal. See you later. All right, next up we have Falake Urani. She is the CEO and founder of Emergency Response Africa. Falake is based here in Canada and operates her company across Africa, doing incredible work, solving for a massive need, and has, interestingly enough, found that really tight intersection of commerce and impact. So let's learn a little bit more about Emergency Response Africa.
When my family experienced a medical emergency in Canada 5 years ago, we called 911. Within minutes, the ambulance arrived and we got care for my son. We didn't even need to go to hospital. If this had happened in Nigeria, I would have had to rely on neighbors to get us to hospital and have no way of knowing if he would be properly treated. Every year, more than 6 million Africans die in emergency situations, and in Nigeria, that is 1.2 million preventable deaths. This is because just 9% of the population has access to emergency services. Instead, most emergency services are provided by ill-equipped private hospitals and governments, and the lack of centralized dispatch and communication leads to 1 hour plus response times and patients being turned away in hospital. But for most people in Africa and the rest of the developing world, there's simply no one to call. This is why we created Emergency Response Africa. Hi, my name is Folake Owodunni, co-founder and CEO of Emergency Response Africa. I have a background in public health and consulting, and together with my co-founder and CTO Mame Poku and a strong local team, we saw an opportunity to use technology to close Africa's emergency care gap. Emergency Response Africa is building the largest network of first responders, emergency vehicles, and hospitals, and can connect anyone experiencing a medical emergency to help in minutes. Users reach us by a toll-free line or a mobile app. Our first responders arrive on the scene quickly and provide first aid while an ambulance is on the way. And if needed, the patient is transferred to the most appropriate hospital. Our technology ensures smart dispatching, seamless communication, and data transfer from end to end, making sure that patients get the right help at the right time. For individuals and families who are searching for immediate help, we charge a fee for service. However, to scale our services to reach millions, we need to partner. Financial services providers bundle our offering into existing products like health insurance, adding value to their customers, while companies in high-risk industries like logistics and manufacturing work with us to keep their staff and customers safe. For governments, we offer a turnkey platform, enabling them to coordinate their fleets of ambulances for the general public. Since launching in March 2021, we've added 130 emergency providers to our network in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt and addressed more than 1,000 incidents. We've managed several complex interstate responses and are on our way to becoming the provider of choice for medical transportation. This year, we've generated $4,000 in monthly sales and signed 6 partnerships and counting. We have a strong sales pipeline and several public and private sector opportunities to deploy our technology to serve millions. The feedback from patients and their families about our services has been overwhelmingly positive. Empathy and speed are what our customers appreciate the most, earning us a strong Net Promoter Score of +75. Emergency response in developing markets is a significant untapped opportunity, driven by factors like an increase in disasters and public health emergencies, a rise in demand for public safety systems and data, and a shortage of service providers. Our service and technology approach presents a huge opportunity to take that market, achieving both impact and growth. Over the next 18 months, we will expand to 16 cities and close on major public and private partnerships to drive our revenue to over $35,000 monthly. I invite you to partner with us to transform emergency services in Africa. Help us treat every emergency with urgency. Thank you.
Folake, welcome. Hi, Gabi. Thank you. That was incredible. For everybody that doesn't know, I have absolutely loved working with Folake and her co-founder, Mame. They are truly saving lives. Like throughout the past 13 weeks in program, we're all in a WhatsApp thread together, and there's just pings going back and forth of the life-changing, life-altering stuff that they're doing with Emergency Response Africa. So, Folake, some questions that have arose are, how do people pay for your services, and how do you guys actually make money?
Yeah, great question. So, like I mentioned in the pitch, individuals who need our help immediately can reach out to us, use the service, and pay for it. But we recognize that in order to reach millions, in order to scale this and make this as accessible to as many people as possible, we need partnerships. And so that's informed part of the work that we've done with Techstars, where we've pivoted to a B2B and a B2B2C model. So today, what we've done is we're working with insurers and other financial institutions to bundle emergency services as part of bigger healthcare packages. We've also started to work with companies in particular sectors like logistics, construction, manufacturing, in order to keep their staff safe. It's one exciting thing that happened as a part of the Techstars program is that we were able to close a deal with Jumia Nigeria in order to provide safety services for 4 of their warehouses in Lagos. So for us, that's a great start in that direction, and we see a lot more opportunity there. The last thing I'll say is, we also are excited for the opportunity to partner with governments. We see this as a service service that does need to be done hand in hand with the government. And we have a pilot that's coming up where we get to deploy our technology to support government's ambulance fleet, which opens a door to a SaaS business model down the line. So that's something that we're also super excited about.
Absolutely. You guys are a rocket ship that's also causing such a great impact on the world. So you brought up government, and I have heard some ask, like, why isn't the government doing this the way that they do in the US or Canada?
Yeah, so the truth is there have been attempts by both public sector and private sector players to solve this problem. The challenge is that traditional emergency services models are very asset heavy, they're very capital intensive. And Africa as a whole, already struggles with just, putting out the funds that's required to run an effective health system. I think the approach that we bring is that we're bringing technology to essentially better utilize the existing resources and make sure that we can get the most out of them, make them much more efficient. And that's a model that can scale across any geography, anywhere that you have a hospital or ambulance facilities. And I think that coordination that we're bringing is really going to be key. So the governments have tried. There's certainly more that they can do. I think, there's the positive thing is over the last year, certainly the Nigerian government has taken some of the right steps to create the right regulatory environment for this. And that's a big part of why I think this is the right time for this business. We're certainly the right team to deliver it. And we're really excited for the opportunity to work with both the public and the private sector.
Absolutely. Now all the government needs to do is partner with Emergency Response Africa. So for any of you guys that are watching this who would like to partner with Falake or would like an introduction or to invest, these are incredible founders. So thank you so much, Falake.
Thank you, Gabby.
All right. So last but not least, we have Sanjay from Start Global. And I don't think he really needs an introduction, but his business is basically you start and manage your global business from anywhere in the world. So with that, I will turn it over to Sanjay.
Hello. My name is Sanjay. I'm the founder of Start Global. One day, 10 years ago, I woke up and I realized I had lost almost 80% of my hearing. I dropped out of college, couldn't get a job because I can't communicate on client calls. So I started learning online, worked my way up through online communities, and built dozens of mobile apps. I met people from Google and eventually started an offline community of 1,000 developers with Google. I'm one of the top 5% developers in the world on Stack Overflow. Then Google invited me to their annual conference as their guest. When I was in the US, I realized I needed to build my business in Silicon Valley. So I met a lawyer and offered him 0.5% to set up everything for me. I had no idea about the franchisee taxes, federal taxes, or many other things to start and run a company. So long story short, I messed up. I ended up owing almost $300,000 to the state. I had no idea who to reach out to or how to fix that mess. It was devastating. This is not just my story. The pandemic paved the way for a new generation of entrepreneurs. There were 4.4 million new businesses started in the US in 2020, and almost 60% of them are 1 to 5 people. They don't have a dedicated lawyer or a CPA to help them, and they are mostly digital-first companies. They are creators, they are freelancers, they are consultants and influencers. So today, if you start a new business, you have to spend many weeks and thousands of dollars on a lawyer, CPA, and then cobble together dozens of apps just to be able to get your company and start getting paid. Start Global is an all-in-one platform to launch and manage your global business from anywhere. We take care of the formation, invoicing, accounting, and taxes. We charge a fixed fee for the formation and a monthly subscription to manage your business. This may seem like magic, but we have formed over 1,000 companies from almost every country on earth. And this year, we are on track to do $1 million in sales with just 3 people team. We are just getting started. In a global economy where you can be a digital nomad in Portugal or start a crypto company in Estonia or a venture funded company in the US, There are many global destinations where entrepreneurs want to start and run their businesses. Our goal is to be the infrastructure provider, a software layer, and enable seamless global multi-currency payments. We are backed by some of the pioneers in the industry, including Biston, the co-founder of Twitter, Balaji Srinivasan, the former CTO of Coinbase, among many others. Get in touch with me at sanjay@startglobal.co to help empower entrepreneurs launch and manage their global business from anywhere in the world. Thank you.
Okay, me again. Sanjay, great way to end. I'm going to say that Sanjay explained that he's hearing impaired. He would not have been able to participate in this program had it not been a virtual or hybrid program. We used captioning throughout. He met all the mentors that way, all the speakers, and participated flawlessly. I have one question for Sanjay, and that is, we understand your vertical that you're going after with legal incorporations. You've done more than 1,000, but how big is this market? What other verticals will you start to tackle, and where will this company go from here?
Hi, Sonal. Thank you. So we do Delaware and Wyoming formations right now, and each of these states, they process about 200,000 companies a year. So formation is only a starting point for us. So we do all the annual compliances, state and federal taxes, everything. So our goal is to get into adjacent market. So for example, we recently figured out that most of our customers, they are single person businesses, they're creators, freelancers, and everyone. They don't have access to employer provided benefits and insurance. So that's a huge underserved market. So our goal is that once we figure out the US market, we are looking at scaling this globally. So for example, Portugal, Dubai, Canada, there are a lot of global destinations for all the founders. So it's like a vacation rental market before Airbnb. So 5 years ago, it was not possible to start a business in another country, completely seamlessly online. So as we have more countries supporting this international entrepreneurs, we think this would increase our TAM very significantly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sanjay. I'll see you off. We'll see you tonight. I'm glad you're here in Toronto with us right now, and it's been just a joy to get to know you. That's it. That's a wrap for us. We went a little bit over time. Apologies for that, but there was just so much content to get through. I just want to say that we're here. We're on Stonks for a reason. This is really about investment, and so these companies have been hand selected, hand curated. We've invested in every single one of them with our money. You've seen a trend and a theme that we've got quite a high number of international companies. I don't want that to be a deterrent to you to invest. In many cases, these companies are in the process of flipping over to Canadian incorporations. We have the good people at Denton's furiously incorporating some of the companies now. We also have teams of immigration consultants and lawyers who are applying for visas. In fact, permanent residency for many of the companies. We are designated under the Startup Visa Program. Part of the allure that we have at Techstars Toronto to international companies is the fact that we can leverage the incredibly high brand value that Canada has around the world, and we can use the Startup Visa and other immigration levers to bring some or all of the founders to Canada. In a way, you can think about this as a form of country arbitrage, because you've seen companies that have very high level of traction, and based on their pitches, you have certainly been seeing traction and metrics that are somewhat unusual for companies at the pre-seed stage. But if you imagine those companies in Canada and you co-invest at this moment, we think that you're going to be feeling or seeing some incredible financial returns to come, just as we are as well. Our applications are open again for the next Techstars. We run twice a year. I'll ask Gabby and Alicia to come back on stage just to close us off if you can. But this has just been a fantastic day, and so I thank you so much. I'm glad to have you, and doing this on Stonks was fun. I'm getting lots of messages from all over, and we just wanted to try it, and I think it was worth doing.
Yeah,
Completely agree.
Thank you everyone who tuned in. We greatly appreciate it. We are excited that you got to witness what we've known to be true and what we've seen over the past 13 weeks. And I look forward to hearing all of the commitments and investments made from all of you into our companies.
Yeah. And I'll just say for any startups that are looking to apply, our applications are always open. And we also love to redirect companies to an accelerator in our network where it's well suited to your vertical or to the geography you're looking at. My personal view is when you do an accelerator, it's actually quite an advantage to do it in a location or an ecosystem that's not your own, particularly if you're in a place which is well networked and where there's a lot of, there's an ease of access to people, investors, mentors. We are certainly a well-networked ecosystem here in Toronto, one of the best in the world. So bringing companies in for a period and then they go back, it's quite advantageous. And for Canadian companies, Toronto companies, we have Techstars all over the world, of course, also in Toronto. We want to hear from you. We get such great entrepreneurs that reach out, and we have fantastic alumni. And the alumni is the fuel to what drives us. They provide referrals, they become mentors, they raise money, and we just love them so much. So thank you to all of you, all 12 companies. We're going to have an after party in Toronto tonight. Can't wait. And I'll be downtown in a few minutes to see both of you soon as well.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for joining. And our next batch, like Sunil said, it starts in September. So we're excited to get started.
Reach out.
Yes, reach out to us. Thanks so